Minnesota is and I'm taking a pause here because I'm trying to put together what words I'm going to say about Minnesota. They underperform. Let's just say that they underperform, and coming off, pretty much almost they were on a Super Bowl run. They were, in the mix, and obviously we know, some of the stuff that happened with the New Orleans game. But coming into it, there were big expectations from their defense. They had signed Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins was supposed to be the guy that was going to, replace Case Keenum and be the upgrade. And he had some games and he had some moments, but they lost Dalvin Cook. That hurt their running game. Kirk got into some situations where he was throwing interceptions, but then he was throwing them back into games. It was just an off season. That's what I'm going to say about the Minnesota Vikings. I'm not going to say because they have too much talent. You have a guy in Cook, that you need him to stay healthy, but you got Adam Thielen. He got off to a real good start. You got Stephon Diggs. You still got Kyle Rudolph. On the offensive side, they got a lot of guys that they can depend on, but they have just as many guys on the defensive side with Harrison Smith. You got Kendricks. You got I think Sheldon Richardson is on this team still, if I remember correctly. Danielle Hunter. So on both ends of the ball, on both sides of the ball, they are talented and they should be better this year. I'm looking at this as a two-team race initially as a two-team race in the NFC North, and I think Minnesota will be back in the mix. And I can't say that Kirk Cousins is going to just be the person that takes them to the promised land. Again, I think it's going to be the defense and them running the ball, and then they take some of the responsibility off Kirk Cousins, and they'll be a better team than what they were last year. Let's just say that. Last but not least, in our NFC North discussion is the Chicago Bears. And I think they surprised everyone going 12-4. They got Khalil Mack right before the season started, and he went on a tear. And when I say a tear, right from the get-go, he was causing fumbles. He was all that and more, for this team. And he gave this Bears defense an identity that they hadn't had for a long time. And now people are, and they need to slow their roll when they say stuff like this. Trying to compare them to the 85 Bears. Yeah. I'm not going to say that. Now, I'm not going to go that far because the 85 Bears was a very dominant football team. This is a very good defensive team, but I'm not going to put them on a level with the 85 Bears. So, but this is more defense will be there. Again, when you got Khalil Mack, Roquan Smith, he was in his rookie year, so you definitely expect him to be better than what he was the previous year, which he was even awesome then. So defense is going to be fine. It's offense and special teams. Offense and special teams. Can Trubisky take that next step? Can Trubisky move up into maybe a mid to close to top 10 quarterback from last season? Can Matt Nagy get him ready, to take the reins, to be the commander, to remember, Jordan Howard is not there, so they got this guy, David Montgomery. Can they change their offense? And of course, Matt Nagy, he was in Kansas City, so he's going to be looking at imitating what the Kansas City Chiefs, are right now. And I'm not saying that Trubisky is Mahomes. He's nowhere near, what Mahomes is, but he wants this offense to be moved. So Allen Robinson, he needs to be healthy. Trey Burton, he needs to be healthy. You're going to need help from, again, David Montgomery and Tariq Cohen. They picked up Mike Davis. And this offense should be better. Should be better. But we know one of the biggest problems that they got. And that is special teams. Have they solved their kicking game? Because that was their Achilles heel at moments that cost them games, and it cost them a playoff game that they should have won. Let's just say that. And I'm gonna go out and say this right now, and people may think I'm tripping when I say this. This team went 12-4. I'm going to say that the Chicago Bears go 500. They're going to go 8-8. Last year was a good year, but last year doesn't give you any wins going into a new season. I still think I said it was going to be a 2-team race. At this point, I wish my Lions would be in there. I hope I'm wrong and that they are in the running to be a 3-team race. But right now, going into the season, I see it as a 2-team race. It's going to be Minnesota and Green Bay. I think it's going to bounce back from their poo-poo seasons. Let's just say that. So that is the NFC North discussion, and I'm going to go into the Browns here. But I found what you guys were talking about. I think this is it. Brittany Griner and the other young lady. So I'm going to see if I can actually watch it as we are on air.
Wale, shot clock at 3,
Nope.
at 2, Turner read.
That's not good. That's real loud. But let me see if I can watch it without the volume. Give me 1 second. And this is good. This is good to be doing this on live air because your listeners, you tell me to check something out, I check it out. So let me turn down the volume. Brittany Griner, I see her. She's down low. Oh, look at the ref. He got put in the headlock and come on, man. Okay. I see your point, America. I see your point. Oh, this is bad. Michael Jackson bad. So the young lady, she hits Brittany Griner, and Brittany Griner, of course, I don't know why Brittany is throwing haymakers at nobody. Oh, okay. You know what? Let me get off this right here. Let me get back. So, normally the listeners will put out, who should be up for a big L. Mocha Bella has put out that, others have put out, and I see it. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, I see what you're talking about. But then I just go ahead and give it out to who I'm going to give it out to. I'm going to do something different tonight. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now, since you pointed it out to me, I'm going to go ahead and go with the listeners, on this one. Okay? So I'll get to that in just a moment. Let me just finish up this last 2 topics, and I'm going to give out my Big L award. And you know where I'm going. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on from the NFC North discussion talk, and we're going to move into hype talk. Hype. So we are back in the Cleveland Browns. Now, the story continues to change. 2 years ago, I told you, I said, watch out, the Cleveland, well, actually, before the season started last year. So let me not get to lying. Before the season started last year, I told you the Browns were on their way. They were coming. And they went from, 1-15 to 7 8-1. So that was definitely a big improvement. But now with all these changes that are going on, getting Odell Beckham, they got Kareem Hunt, and now Baker has seemed to be the guy and to justify being the number one overall draft pick. They got these expectations. So now Baker is talking about how people, want them to lose, and that they got to take it game by game. They got to embrace that, and all that stuff. Baker first don't need to, even worry about it, but he is, because he want to prove them all wrong. He wants to, throw it in their face. But I really didn't think that there were people that wanted them to lose at this point. I think a lot of people were tired of people talking about the Browns because they haven't done anything yet and going ahead and crowning them, the AFC North champions and all that stuff. But this is what comes along with the hype. You're going to get people that's going to hate on you, and they're going to want you to lose because they want you to stay down. They don't want you to be successful, or they don't want, people to put you as paper champs, out there, and you haven't accomplished anything. So you're going to have to accomplish it. You're going to have to, show them and instead of just, speaking about it, just play your game. You'll be all right. And as long as y'all win, those people, because you win, and let's just say you win the whole, not the whole thing, but you win the division. People are still going to hate on you. They're still going to wish you to lose. I mean, we all wish the Patriots would lose all the time. So they deal with it every year. We always wish that. So that just comes along with the territory, man. When you got a good team on paper, let's just say that, and then it should roll over to the field as well. But people are always going to, root for you to lose or want you to lose. No one's really going to go in here and feel, compelled to cheer for you. That was last year when y'all won that game against the Jets and everybody got beer in the city. That was it. Once when that happened, everybody was just going back to status quo. So Browns, just deal with it. You got it going on. Last thing I was supposed to talk about, and I'm really not going to talk about it. It was about the AB. I was supposed to talk about the helmet and everything, but Antonio Brown, his helmet, appeal got denied, but they did tell him if he can find one that is still certified within a certain time frame, then that he can use that one. So he's on this mission trying to find this helmet that he is more comfortable wearing. I don't know if they're saying his camp did find one, but I don't know if it will pass, the necessary test that it needs to be qualified to wear. So at least if he found something, we find out if it's something that he wants to wear, find out if it's something that he will wear, or if not, then he's going to be wearing the new helmet. But regardless, he wasn't going to retire. I told you that. He was going to show up to camp, which he did, and if nothing else happens, he's going to wear that new helmet because he just got paid and he want to get his money. So Antonio Brown, the helmet drama, whatever you want to call it, is done with. So speaking of done with, I am done with these topics. I am done with this episode, and I'm going to finish up again. Like I said, I'm going to do something different. The listeners, they speak, they've spoken, and I've listened. So I am going to go ahead and take you guys' Big L Award nominee, and I'm going to go in. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Big L Award. For those who don't know, Big L stands for the Big Loser Award. Sometimes we just do losers things in the world, and you just got to accept it, that you are a loser, and then just run with it. Everybody has done something loserous. I have given it out to family members. I have given it to myself. I have given it to people in this chat room, and I have given it to Lopan before. Yes, I have. So nobody is, safe from getting the Big L Award. And you spoke, and I'm listening. So here's what I'm going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, you had me watching a WNBA game, which was the Phoenix Mercury against the Dallas Wings. And one, Brittany Griner, we know she's a superstar, big time center, all that in a bag of chips or whatever it is in the basketball game, was playing a game. And then she is going up against rookie Christine Anigwe, and I hope I'm saying that right. And they get tangled up. they go, get all, mixed up and everything, and it gets a little physical and everything. Well, I guess Christine was feeling herself a little bit too much.